I still remember that knock. Heavy. Desperate. My dad's fist hit my door at 9 in the morning, hard enough to make the walls shake. My little boy was still asleep, holding tight to the toy car he got last year, his only birthday gift. I didn't move. I just sat at the kitchen table, my coffee going cold in my hands, listening to the man who once taught me to ride a bike beg like a stranger outside my home. The night before, my son had asked, "Mom, don't they need me?" His eyes were wet, staring at the screen where balloons and clowns bounced behind my dad's live stream. A bounce house, tables loaded with food, my nieces tearing into piles of presents, laughing so loud I could almost feel it through the phone. My dad had told me money was tight, said they couldn't make it to my boy's birthday. He said it like it was just how life worked, and I believed him. Then I saw the party. The circus he built for someone else's kids, his real grandkids, like he used to call them. I took a picture. The rent check sat on the counter where my mail always lands. I wrote "Return to sender," sent it before I could change my mind. When I set my phone down, my heart wasn't racing. It was calm, cold, decided. My dad raised me on lessons about sacrifice. Family comes first, he used to say. I worked 2 jobs to keep the lights on after my husband left. I scraped coins to buy my son's school shoes, while my parents slipped cash to my sister for vacations. I told myself that's just how it was. She had more kids, needed more help. But favoritism doesn't rent bounce houses while your grandson wonders why grandpa didn't call. Favoritism doesn't lie about being broke while laughing on camera. I didn't yell or call him out. I let silence do the work. I let him wake up to see the rent unpaid. I let panic crawl through him while I sat still, already replaying the plan. Step 1. Returning the A check meant no safety net. My dad had always leaned on me, said online banking was too confusing, asked me to handle his bills. For years, I'd been the backup plan. Not anymore. Step 2. I pulled my name from the joint account I'd stupidly agreed to share, the one he convinced me to open when Mom had her surgery. Just until we're steady, he'd said. My paychecks stopped holding them up overnight. Step 3. I met with the landlord, a quiet man with tired eyes who once told me, "Your dad's lucky you're the one handling his payments." I slid the photo across his desk, the check with "Return to sender" written in my handwriting. He didn't ask questions, just nodded, slow and understanding. The pounding at my door got weaker. I pictured my dad's face when his card got declined that morning. The landlord's call he knew was coming. The dread creeping in as he realized his lifeline, me, was gone. I didn't feel guilty. Not when I thought of my son's voice asking, "Don't they need me?" A child shouldn't have to wonder if he matters as much as a party full of balloons. He didn't need their clowns or their cake. He needed me to show him what self-respect looks like, what it costs to keep it. When the knocking finally stopped, the silence was thick and heavy. My son stirred in his room. I got up, poured the cold coffee down the sink, and opened the curtains. The sunlight hit the street like nothing had happened, like it was any other morning, but I knew everything had changed. Later came the messages, the calls, the voicemails. "We need to talk." "Why would you do this?" "Your mother's worried." I didn't respond. They'd taught me long ago that silence keeps you safe. I'd learned to swallow hurt, to pretend crumbs were enough. But now silence wasn't survival. It was power, and I used it well. By the end of the week, word spread through the family. My sister called me selfish, said I was cruel. I laughed, sharper than I meant to. Cruel? No. Cruel was letting my son feel unwanted. Cruel was live streaming joy while pretending to be broke. What I did wasn't cruelty, it was clarity. Maybe my dad thought I'd forgive him, open the door, let him explain. Maybe he thought tears or excuses would change my mind. But some betrayals cut too deep to patch over. Some truths, once seen, can't be unseen. When I think back to that morning, the pounding, the silence, I don't see a father anymore. I see a man who underestimated me. A man who taught me that family comes first, never realizing I'd one day choose my own family over his lies. I chose my son. I chose self-respect. And when my father's world fell apart that morning, I didn't move. Because sometimes justice isn't loud. Sometimes it's a single photo, a return check, and the quiet echo of consequences at your door. And sometimes you just don't open it.